If you're clinging to the idea that you'll be sipping margaritas at 65 on some beach somewhere and having your savings pay your bills for the next 30 years, I hate to break it to you, but that dream just might be broken. Let's talk about why retirement is officially dead and what you should be doing instead. Did you know about 70% of Americans are not financially prepared for retirement? This alarming statistic paints a clear picture of the retirement crisis here in the US. If you're feeling stressed about retirement, you're not alone. The current system is failing us. Millions of Americans have financial uncertainty for their later years. Okay, so let's face it, the old magical number of 65 and feeling you can retire is not happening. It's broken. Working for 40 years and then retiring at 65 is not ideal anymore. I remember growing up, I was like, okay, you do this, that, and then 65, you just sail away, and finally you get freedom to do whatever you want. That clearly is not happening. And why? Because people are living longer. They're working longer, and inflation is eating up savings. And then you have healthcare costs and stagnant wages are making it very difficult to save enough for retirement. Pensions? What pensions? Those are long gone. When's the last time you heard of anybody getting a pension? Okay, so how about Social Security? Maybe, but let's be realistic. Very, very few people can live off Social Security, even if it's even going to be there for me when I am able to collect it. As of now, I can collect it at 62 or get more or something at 65. I'm going to start collecting at 62 because I'm not even sure it's going to be there. I'm 58. Who knows if it'll be there when I'm 62? So I'm going to go ahead and collect it as soon as I can. I have a friend I met because I travel all over the US, for those that don't know. I have a friend, he house sits, and I asked him, what do you do for money? Because not all house sitting gigs pay, and you still need food and gas and transportation, all kinds of stuff. And he says he's living off his Social Security and he is strapped. So that's crazy. I'm like, he was, I think, a tech engineer or something. I think he made really good money when he had it. But unfortunately, in real estate, he lost a ton. I, for one, know how that feels. I do too. I lost everything. I even had years ago jobs like 9 to 5 with a 401k from retirement. I had to pull out, pay all those penalties just to survive. So many of us do not have any retirement due to certain things happening in life. How about the pandemic? Many people lost their jobs during the pandemic and then had to use whatever savings they had just to get by. And the other thing is the math just doesn't math anymore, or whatever that saying is. Before, you could have, say, enough like $1 million. You'd be like, okay, I'm gonna spend my whole life, I'm gonna get a retirement, this and that, and when I retire, I'll have $1 million. I don't think that's gonna cut it. $1 million is not even enough anymore. Because also with the healthcare and rising costs of everything else, but a lot of the chronic illnesses happen later in life. And so you can go through $1 million like there's no tomorrow. A true retirement should be a time of financial independence, but that's just not how it is anymore. Comment below and let me know if you think traditional retirement is still obtainable. I would love to hear your opinion on this. Because I see many retirees are needing to continue working, or at least working part-time, or even getting a second job just to make ends meet. And again, a lot of it is because of rising healthcare costs. As we get older, we discover a lot of things aren't working like they used to. For example, I don't have dental insurance, and I had a tooth capped 7-8 years ago, and anything doesn't last forever. And now I have to go get it done again, and I have to pay out of pocket. And that's a huge expense. It's going to be a couple $1,000 because I got to get the x-rays, the cleaning, the new patient thing, because I'm traveling. I'm not going to fly back down to Florida to the dentist I was going to. Anyways, it just all adds up. And all of a sudden, there's a huge hit out of my little savings account. I'm trying to keep ends meeting. And that's why I continue to work. And I'm going to get into that a little more in just a minute here, why it's not so bad. Why it's not so bad is retirement is boring. And so at 65, why would you want to 100% retire? I mean, unless you really hated your job, I get it. You should have got out of that a long time ago and started doing something fun and something you like doing. But a lot of people get depressed when they retire. They just start laying around, and they're not necessarily lazy, even though they'll appear that way. It's because they don't have a purpose. They have nothing, no joy, nothing to get out of bed for. And so then they just lay around and they get depressed, and oftentimes they stay inside. So they're not even going outside and getting any sunshine, which makes you feel a little better, or, moving. Our bodies are meant to move. And if you just sit there, you're going to get depressed. You got to take action. You got to move. You got to have a goal or purpose in life. And getting outside in the sun, even for, 10, 15 minutes a day. Sometimes I like to go outside and just, if I'm working inside or doing a lot of traveling that day, I try to at least poke my head outside for a few minutes every day. So with retirement not necessarily being able at 65, again, we're living longer, so 65, we're still pretty active. At least I'm hoping I still will be if I don't get some huge illness or any mishaps. So ideally, most 65-year-olds look great. They look amazing. I see 70, 75-year-olds. I'm like, wow, they look amazing. And they're active and they're doing wonderful things. And so to keep up with that, you might want to consider having some income coming in that's not strapping you. So what a lot of people are doing, they're either semi-retiring, or what I like to call, what I'm doing is micro-retiring, where you work a little bit and you play a little bit too. And I prefer my micro-retirement is I make money so I can still travel. So I make money online. I make money wherever I am, and I can work whenever, how much or how little I want. And how I do that, and many of you can too, is one, downsize. You got to keep your bills low. I paid off my Lincoln, I paid off my car, and then, and it's a newer car, so I feel it's pretty reliable. I just keep the upkeep and maintenance. Also, by downsizing, getting rid of my home, oh my gosh, it took me a minute. It really hit me. I'm like, I'm not going through my money like water anymore. It's because I'm not paying $3,000 to $4,000 a month to live somewhere. I was making good money, but between my condo fees, and then utilities, it was equaling between $3,000 to $4,000 a month. That's $3,000 to $4,000 a month I get to keep in my pocket, or practically all of it. I may still pay for some living expenses, but just look at your circumstances. Do you really need that big home? Do you really need all that crap? I can't count how many 70 and 80-year-olds I have. Nothing but junk. They think they need this big home because 2 of the rooms are filled with crap that I guarantee you, when you pass, your kids are going to chuck. They're going to be angry that they even have to go through it all, or sad, or the memories. Like, just do them all a favor and do yourself a favor. Get rid of it, downsize. You have lower bills and a lot less upkeep and maintenance. And now you can have all the time and the money to travel because you're saving money and you don't have this big house to take care of and maintain. Just think about it, give it some thought. The other thing is house sitting. A lot of times when you house sit somewhere, you'll get paid. Not all the time, but maybe you just want to travel, and it's a great way to save on hotel expenses. That is one of the biggest expense when traveling, is the hotel. So sometimes I do house sit. Sometimes house sitting doesn't even involve taking care of a pet. It's just literally they want somebody there to collect their mail. Maybe they just want you to cut their grass or just be there to keep their house kept up. And then again, like I said, some of them will pay you as well. So if you drove there, maybe that'll help, offset your gas and your food while you're there. You're making a little bit of money. It's not enough to live off of, but sometimes every bit helps. And you get to explore a new area without having to pay for a hotel. There's so many ways you can make money online. If you were doing something for 34 years, maybe you can do consulting for it. I know this one guy, he used to work for an electric company, and now part-time, he will consult other electricians out in the field. And he basically, the way he says it, I don't know, but I'm sure knowing him, he's not putting a lot of work and effort into this. He sits in the truck for $40 an hour. And then if there's an issue or problem, he goes and helps then. But he's there to consult these electricians. You can consult all types of people. Maybe it can be from at home online or your laptop, wherever you're traveling to. Or maybe you're not traveling, you just want to save up money to travel. Try consulting. Referrals, I get a lot of money when people are like, hey, do you have a real estate agent? I want to either buy and or sell my home. Yep, I recommend them a great agent, and then I get a referral fee when that property closes. There's also UGC, user generated content, which is huge for anybody in our age, over 50, because there's so few of us doing it. And we are definitely needed. I've had other videos on this, but I'm telling you, UGC is a great way to get income, and a lot of free products too. It's a lot of fun. I love doing UGC. And you can even look into being a travel agent, and that will help you save money traveling, like on cruises or just wherever you want to go, hotels, airfares. Or if you decide to start doing bookings, especially group bookings, you can make money off of it as well. And maybe plan a group with a bunch of friends, go travel, yours is free, you made a couple bucks, and it's a win-win, everyone was happy. So like I said, there's tons of ways to make money online to supplement your new retirement, your micro retirement. So everything I'm talking about is not the get rich quick scheme by any means. You're not going to get rich overnight. Some of them, however, can turn into a very lucrative full-time career. I myself have a few going, like affiliate marketing, UGC. I get YouTube ad revenue. I get some from some streams also. There's multiple ways I get it, so I can still stay flexible, and I still make a really good living doing this. Did it happen overnight? No, but it happened. And all you got to do is pull in some of your resources. Like I have the consulting and the referral, but I had to do real estate for many, many years to get to that. So just think about what you could do. Start today and make it fun, because you want to have a good retirement or semi-retirement, and you can be crushing it and still living your dream and not worry about if your Social Security is going to pay the bills when you get to that age. Stop fraternizing and start planning today. Create a hybrid lifestyle. Semi-retired, semi-adventure, semi-badass. Want to see how I'm building income on the road after 50? Subscribe and follow the journey. Till next time.